Okay, this is the uterus. This is the fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes. And okay, this on the back part. This is the ovaries. Okay. So your ovaries. There's a bump here, so that's the ovaries. Fallopian tube, uterus, and the vaginal canal. Okay, this is the vaginal canal, the rugae. So these folding of tissue is the rugae. Okay, let's look at the uterus. This part here is referred to as what? Fundus, right? This?
Body.
Body, and the lower part is the?
Isthmus.
Cervix. Well, it's isthmus, and then cervix. Here, you can't define what's the isthmus. Okay, it's like a small constriction there. That's isthmus, and that isthmus continues as the cervix, right? And you have two openings: the outer opening, the inner opening.
Inner os and outer.
Right.
Internal and external.
Internal opening and out, and the external opening, which is the internal os and external os. External os opens the vaginal canal. Internal os opens the lumen of the uterus. Internal os and external os. Okay, and then we have in the vaginal canal we have a space that goes like a sac or a pouch, which is referred to as the
Fornix.
fornix. So which fornix do we have?
Anterior.
Anterior, posterior,
Lateral.
and lateral fornix, right? So if you have like accumulation of fluid in the Douglas pouch, which fornix do you go in through the fornix and then inject the or withdraw the fluid?
Posterior fornix.
Right, posterior fornix. So
Maybe for front one. That one.
Yeah, this one.
yeah, okay, so yeah, so basically. So we have the vaginal canal here, okay, and these are the fornices. We have the anterior fornix, posterior fornix, okay, anterior fornix, posterior fornix, and then lateral fornix we don't see. So here, as you can see, this is what Douglas pouch, or it's also referred to as
Rectal uterine.
rectouterine pouch, and here vesicular pouch. You see, the rectouterine pouch is also referred to as Douglas pouch is more deep than the vesicular pouch here. So this is Douglas pouch. So if there's an accumulation of fluid here, or if there's a rupture, there might be an accumulation of blood, like hemorrhage or tissue breaks. So you go through the vaginal canal all the way to the posterior fornix and to the Douglas pouch to withdraw the fluid. So this is the posterior fornix. So if you look at the vaginal canal and related with that, the cervical canal and the body of the uterus. So you have an angle here, and this is what we call as if we have two bends there, and then we have what is it called?
Anteflex. Anteflex angle is.
Right, retroflexion and antiversion.
Ah.
Okay, so what is so yeah, so we have anti-flexion and antiversion. Okay, anti-flexion, antiversion. So anti-flexion, okay, so it's like this. So you basically in anti-flexion, you draw a longitudinal axis through the body. Okay, so it's like longitudinal axis from the body. Ahmed, can you hold this? Yes, just hold the stick. No, I should hold it from here so you can cover the uterus. Okay, so that's that. And then we have the longitudinal axis of the cervix. You see? Cervical canal here, right? And then you have so basically you have an angle here. And that angle is what? Anti-flexion is what? 170 degrees, right? It has to be 170 degrees. Okay, yeah, 25 to 170, so it's like maximum 170. Okay, so let's say it again. Okay, who can repeat this? One of you repeat this. Anti-flexion, anti-flexion. angle is between what?
Longitudinal.
Longitudinal of the body of uterus
And the cervix.
Cervix.
and the cervical canal. Okay. So this is what?
Like
Anti-flexion. Okay. It has to be what degrees?
120.
Right. So let's look at anti-version now. Anti-version, again, it's what? It's the, okay, so it's the cervical canal. Yeah, hold this now. Cervical canal. And the other is the vaginal canal, which is this. And you have an angle here, and that angle is supposed to be 90 degrees. Okay. All right. Well, no, this is a model. Okay, it has to be 90 degrees. Okay. So that's the anti-version angle. Anti-flexion and anti-version. So this is what? Normal anatomical position of the uterus. Okay. Okay, that's that. Which you can see it here. This is anti-flexion and anti-version position, like you said. It's kind of bent, okay, between the vaginal canal and the uterus. So that's that. Let's look at on this side. So what do we see on this side here? So this ligament that covers the uterus. That covers the uterus, it covers the fallopian tube and ovaries. And that is called the broad ligament, okay? And that broad ligament, okay, so think about the broad ligament as throwing a bed sheet. The bed sheet, when you throw it over the uterus and throw it over the fallopian tube and throw it over the ovaries. So when you throw it over, what happens, that bed sheet, when you so the other two parts, they come together. They come together, they form the mesosalpinx. For instance, these cover the fallopian tube. At the posterior aspect, they come together, the two layers of the broad ligament, they come together and they form what we call as the mesosalpinx. Meso. Okay, mesosalpinx. And they cover the ovarium and they form the mesoovarium. And they come together and they uterus, they form the mesometrium.
Can you show me the ovary?
Okay, so basically you can't really see it here, but this is the ovaries here. They just basically cover the ovaries. But there's a certain area where these peritoneum, broad ligament is peritoneum, okay, primarily. So there's a certain area at the tip of the ovary. It's devoid of peritoneum, and who can tell me why it's devoid of peritoneum? So
Because of the infundibulum?
right, because of the fimbria. So the fimbria, those fimbria has to like sweep the egg, the secondary oocyte that is ovulated inside the fallopian tube. So it has there shouldn't be any covering peritoneum, over there. All right, and so and then that's the other. For instance, when we say when we talk about the peritoneal cavity, okay. In men, it's totally closed. However, in female, it's open. How it is open? It is open through the fallopian tube. Okay, the ampulla, and then we have the isthmus and intramural part, and from here it would go out through the vaginal canal. So the peritoneal cavity is basically connected with the outside through the fallopian tube, okay? However, in men, it's totally closed. There's no opening. So that's why through this area, there might be a spread of infection. So that's why the perineal area in ladies and females has to be careful in terms of sterility, okay? In terms of like hygiene, because that is a route of infection all the way to the perineal cavity. Okay. So this. What do we find here? This is the ovarium. These are the follicogenesis, the follicles, the primary, secondary, tertiary follicles. This guy here is the